Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Kyle Steele takes time away from his podcast to sit in for the week as my guest co-host. We're joined by the one and only Ed John. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, it is Tuesday at 7 o'clock. It is time for the Life Radio Show with your host, me, Don Smith. And I'm sitting in here with my guest co-host for the week, which is actually a day.
Yeah.
But it'll be, this is the show for the whole week.
Yeah.
Is just a day. Just so there's no confusion.
I don't have a week, so yeah, we're just going to have to get this all done today.
You didn't know you were coming back the rest
I
of the week?
didn't, no.
Okay. Kyle Steele.
Well, hello,
is
sir.
in from the, what all podcasts do you have
Nicolas
now?
Cage,
Still,
Movie Review Hour, Loudmouth MMA, that's it.
Oh,
Just the two.
Okay. I didn't know if you started more since.
I'm not stretched too
You're a
thin.
busy man.
Well, I am, yeah.
I know the
Unfortunately.
feeling.
Yeah. I like that your beard is longer, much longer than the last time I saw you, to really show that time has passed.
Yes.
It felt
well, that's. I wanted you to feel like things have gone
Yeah.
on, even in your absence.
Thank you.
So, because I don't want people to think that when they're not here, my life just stops.
Yeah.
Now with Ed, that's pretty much. But he comes around a lot more.
Okay, sure.
So
What
Ed
up?
John. Ed John is also in the. What was that noise?
My chair.
Oh, okay. I was
What
just
up?
Trying not to
making
move too
sure
much.
what you guys were doing.
Finish
over
my
there.
intro.
I wasn't done. Ed John is
Get
also
to
our
it.
first guest in the studio today. The Ed, the one and only.
There we go.
There.
Hashtag kneecaps. Ed
Hashtag
John.
kneecaps. Yeah.
So how are the kneecaps? How's that joke going? Have you just stopped doing? Has Travis turned you off of that joke altogether?
Oh no, I'm always
Okay.
working, always grinding.
Okay.
You know, digging deeper.
You
Yes,
guys need
it's
to
done.
stop letting Travis dictate anybody's jokes.
Travis doesn't dictate any
Right.
jokes.
Well, he tries.
He just tells people to quit.
He,
Pretty
Yeah.
most, he most certainly
Yeah.
tries to dictate.
Yeah. Hashtag kneecaps and hashtag quit. There's
Yeah.
That's
I saw Dale today. Speaking of kneecaps.
oh. Kneecap.
Yeah. I saw him
Sorry,
today. He's
Dale.
doing good. He's doing
Is
well.
it, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Is he out of the hospital? Is he in the,
Oh no, he's still in the hospital.
He's still in the hospital.
Yeah, he's still in the hospital.
Well, I don't know
will
this
have
story.
to, Dale, do you know Dale Blumquist?
Yes.
Dale.
No of.
Okay, Dale has had some health issues, and
He's not the same guy you heard
yeah,
of.
Yeah, he's not been doing too well. He actually missed a show, which
Yeah.
is very rare, and fortunately, people at the club called the cops, had him do a wellness check on him. So
Oh, wow.
made sure he was okay, and he ended up in the hospital and is still there. And that's
Still there. He's doing well though.
It's been almost a month, I believe, if not a little. Hasn't it
Has
been?
it?
It's been
2.5
while.
weeks.
Has it been 2.5 weeks?
Yeah, maybe 2.5.
It's almost a month for me. Time moves quickly.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I live faster than most.
Yeah.
Live fast, die hard. I got you.
How I feel right now. Don,
Live fast. That beard lives fast.
Yes. This is actually only 2 weeks growth. I had it all shaved off 2 weeks ago. So
that's not real.
no, that's not.
Okay, I was like, that's not
No.
real.
Yeah, that's,
Here's
that's
the thing, though. Like beard lore, I don't know. I've seen people who really do grow just stupid beards so fast.
Beard lore. That's
Well,
beard
time.
lore.
I was barefaced back in October, end of October.
I mean, so
last
that's still
year, so
pretty
that's
intense.
still-
It's
that's
an
still
intense
quite
beard
a-
for that
yeah.
amount of time.
Yeah.
Beard lore.
Beard
Because
lore,
I don't,
yes.
some people will say like I can grow a full beard in, 3 or 4 days, and you'd say you can't, but I can grow a full beard in like 4 or 5 days.
I don't know about 4 or 5
It's not like real
days.
long, but I mean, it's
can-
definitely
I
a
can
full
definitely-
filled-in beard. So that's
Yeah.
beard lore.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you don't know if you can trust it or not.
beard lore.
It's like the fish.
Yeah,
Beard
Fish gets
politics.
bigger.
yeah. The fish story
Beard
and the
politics,
beard story are
yeah.
very similar,
Yeah,
as in the size and how fast it grows.
there's a lot of puns in there. But
A lot of puns.
we'll leave
A
that.
lot of puns.
Yep. That's not good.
I was
So,
hoping this would be like the Life After Dark because it's 7 o'clock, 7 to 9.
yeah, welcome
Taxi
to
Cab Confessional.
the Life After Dark.
But it's not. We can't.
No.
I can still say taint, but I can't. We can't
You-
go
we
beyond
can
that.
still say taint.
What can't we say?
You can't cuss.
I'll let you know if you say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Ed has dropped an F-bomb on before.
Oh, well, good.
That's
I haven't today.
Congratulations.
I
You
haven't
haven't
today.
today. You
No.
haven't today.
Last
but
time I didn't.
Yep, last time you didn't. But it happens. It happens.
Oh, it's definitely
gonna
happening
happen.
today
Oh,
now
yeah.
that we're talking about it. For sure.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're setting the bar really low today. So that's So welcome to the live. So how's the Nicolas Cage podcast been going? Has it been
We are 60 episodes in.
60 episodes in?
60. It's not been released, but we've recorded 60.
That's
So when you
that's
come on,
a
it'll be
lot of-
62.
That's a lot of Nick Cage movies. That's a lot of Nick Cage
I
in
did.
general.
So last week on the podcast, I did trivia. We did a bonus episode where we had people hit me with trivia, and I got pretty much 100 across the board. It's unreal.
That's
It's unreal. And I haven't I
That's-
didn't study or it's just
just from watching.
just
it
from
and
I've
discussing
watched
so many of them,
60 Nicolas Cage movies. So.
That sounds
that's-
like trivia lore.
yeah. Trivia lore.
Trivia
yeah.
lore.
Yeah.
See, I should
Here's
have
the-
brought some Nick Cage.
the good
lore
thing with
and some
trivia lore
questions, but-
is that it's recorded, so we're good to go.
In
I
what-
can
Well, that's
prove it.
true. That's
I
true.
could prove
yeah.
In what year did Nick Cage win the Oscar?
Ooh. It was for Leaving Las Vegas, but I couldn't tell you what the year was.
Yeah. Nick Cage won an Oscar.
He did.
Who knows?
He did for
did.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Which
1995.
that wasn't even his best movie.
1995.
Probably true. I
Might have been
don't
96.
think I've seen that one actually.
Might have
No,
been
I think it might be
96.
96. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I know Con Air came out in 97.
So yeah, it was
Which is
definitely before
definitely
that
one of my
shit
favorites.
out stuff.
We did Con Air live on the radio.
We did.
Yeah.
Not a fan. What was I calling it?
Forrest Gump in the Sky.
Yeah, Forrest Gump goes to prison, I think is what I called it.
I prefer Forrest Gump in the Sky.
Forrest Gump in the Sky is good.
That's a good one. But it's I've been happily surprised by a couple movies.
That's good. That's good. I think that's the way it's supposed
Nick
to
Cage
be.
is
You
the
don't
worst
wanna-
actor in the history of acting.
Oh, see, Ed, that's
And
why
history.
I'm doing this.
It
See, you're
depends
speaking
what
my
he
language.
does,
Okay,
though. It
yeah.
depends
Because that's
what he
why
does.
it
Trash.
doesn't depend on what he does. I'm telling you, this is the most nebulous. Like, when I went into it under the Nicolas Cage is trash. That's what I went into it.
Yes.
with.
Right.
Nicolas Cage is trash, but he's won an Oscar, and he was the primary actor in one of my favorite movies of all time called The Weatherman. So I'm like, all right, I can't just. We did that one live with Adrian Cosby.
Oh, okay.
A lot of fun. But yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time stars Nicolas Cage, and the man's won an Oscar and he's been nominated. So I'm like, you can't just say he's trash. Let's research this. So my form of research is let's watch every movie, and
discuss it with comedians. And,
I have
and other folks.
he's bad in good movies, good in bad movies, bad with good directors, good with bad directors, bad with good supporting cast. Bad, it's just there really is there's no rhyme or reason to it. Here's the one thing that I've learned that I have figured out with him is that what really does set him apart is even when he's being mundane, he will do things in movies that no other actor I think would do. He will make these character choices that nobody else would make. And a lot of times it does not work out. But when it does work out, take a movie like Adaptation, which I had never seen before. You can't put anybody else in that movie. If you put Tom Hanks in that movie, it sucks. Seriously. You had to have someone who is willing to make those type of like character choices that only a guy like Nicolas Cage will make. Like nobody else will do this. Like he puts himself in these weird positions. It's just a lot of times it doesn't work out. That becomes the issue. But when it does work out, you have this unique piece of gold.
See, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think I agree with that. Because
Okay, short.
Wouldn't every actor wouldn't it be on every actor's checklist to say, hey, what can I do with this character?
Yes, but he will make decisions
That are bad more often.
I don't know if it's bad more often. It's just
What makes it to film, what makes it to theaters is bad. So the crap that doesn't make it to theaters has to be bad.
he hasn't had a movie in theaters in a hot minute.
Well, like to Netflix. He's the
It's
king
been
of
a hot
Netflix.
minute. Yeah.
What makes it to like distribution is horrible.
Well, see, that's the thing is nobody will pick it up. He owns Saturn Films. So all the movies that have been coming out are coming out under the Saturn Films banner.
Oh wow!
So the only reason why the
there you
movies
go.
are getting distributed is because
He's
he's distributing them. It's like
I
he's
think you proved the
self-publishing
point. I think
essentially.
we proved the point.
Well, but here's the thing. There's a movie that came out in 2016 starring him and Elijah Wood of all things called The Trust. It's on Netflix. Came
Elijah
out
Wood, Frodo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Came
Frodo,
out came out in 2016. It was awesome. I loved it. And I'm not like a big action. It wasn't. I don't know if it was an action movie. It's weird. It's weird. It's kind of bizarre. It's kind of gonzo. I don't know. Came out in 2016. Didn't go to theaters. It was a really good movie.
I'll have to check.
So
it out.
I don't
The
know.
Trust?
It's just I don't know.
I'm not checking it out at all.
I
And
will
it was the
check
guy.
out. I will
And
check-
it was.
I keep an open mind.
the two-
if
it was-
you've seen some of my movies, I can't be. I can't be too harsh.
right.
I'm not checking it out.
You got to try it out. And I was compelled to talk to the writer of the movie.
Compelled.
I was compelled to talk to the
Which was also
writer of the
Nick
movie.
Cage.
Which I wish. I don't think he would talk to me.
Cage owns the
I
writer.
have crapped on that dude so much.
That man
He ain't
should
talking to me.
talk to you because
He won't.
you have watched more of his movies than any human being
Yeah.
Should ever
on the
watch.
planet.
I've watched more than my co-hosts because they haven't seen all the movies.
Right.
So
You have seen every Nick Cage movie.
almost. We're not quite
He's
there yet,
getting
but I'm
there.
getting
He's
there.
getting there, yeah.
I'm about 20 movies away. I'm even going to watch the cartoons. I've watched all the cameos. I'm watching.
Cartoons?
Oh yeah, he
Oh, he
voices a bunch of
voices a lot
cartoons.
of- I did not
Astro
know
Boy,
that.
G-Force, the Croods. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I'm
didn't know
watching
that.
those. I've done stuff where he has cameos. I'm even doing the movies that he's not in, but he's produced.
I feel like you have something to tell us.
He produced 1,000 Words starring Eddie Murphy.
I feel like you have something
I'm
to
watching
tell
it.
us.
Yeah.
I feel like you have something
See,
to
I
tell
didn't know.
us.
I didn't know he produced it. There's so much I'm learning about Nick
I love
Cage
it.
that I didn't.
I love it. He directed a movie called Sunny that he's not in, starring James Franco.
He directed it.
He
but he's
directed
not
it,
in.
but he's not in it.
Oh wow!
Oh, he does like a cameo, but he doesn't have a voice.
But that's still one you're going to do. For,
Oh, yeah.
for
We'll
the
do it as a
Nick
bonus,
Cage
yeah.
podcast. Okay,
We've done a couple, like we did Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
right.
which he's
right.
in. He doesn't have any lines, but you see him in the back cooking as one of Brad's friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
he's
know
you
that.
see his face like 3 or 4 times, but he doesn't have any lines. He did have more lines initially, but his uncle Francis Ford Coppola was smart and
Well, there were only 4 reasons.
Trimmed that down.
There were only 4 reasons I liked Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
was one of the greatest movies ever made. Is that
False.
Is that
False.
in your top 4?
False.
Well, 4 reasons
We're not gonna co-sign that.
were Phoebe
False.
Cates and
Oh my
False.
Jennifer
god!
Jason Leigh.
Woo, that's all 4 reasons.
That's all 4 reasons.
I was one
False.
of
We're
the
not gonna
discussions
co-sign.
that we had. How old are you at, John?
34.
34. Okay.
Have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
No, but we're not going to co-sign
Ooh,
that.
you need to watch
Okay.
that movie.
No, we're not going to co-sign.
Oh, you don't have to co-sign. It's one of the best. I'm
Okay.
just saying you still
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
that movie.
Because I would never say it's one of the best.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't actually think it's one of the best.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was a
Okay,
good
it's
movie.
it's a fun.
It is a
movie.
good
I
movie,
mean-
but
I
it's not
mean,
like one of the best movies ever
Okay.
made.
Probably one of the best Sean Penn ever did.
Oh, he was so good in that movie. When he first came on screen, and I know so you haven't seen it, so we won't talk about it too much. But when he first came on screen, I was like, well, "This is gonna get annoying real quick."
Yeah.
And then, like
Like,
10 minutes
no
later,
way,
I'm like,
Mr.
"I
Hank."
kind of love it. Never mind, we're good. We're gonna keep it." But no, do you remember Titanic?
Yes.
Okay, do you know how old you were when that movie came out?
Titanic came out in 96, so I was
Ish,
12,
yeah.
13.
Okay, so
Well,
perfect age. Okay,
yeah.
did you pause in a certain part of that movie?
Yes, when I saw the white girl titties.
Okay, so I
'Cause you
can
were the age that
Yeah,
that was
listen.
what mattered.
This
Yeah.
is that scene from Titanic.
Okay.
Okay, when was it Phoebe Cates when she's getting out of the pool? Where Cates,
Yes,
Phoebe Cates,
yeah, that was Phoebe Cates.
when she gets out of the pool. If I was a 12-year-old when that movie came out, I'd have never left my house. I wouldn't even know what would I have done.
That's what happened.
What?
Because
How did
that
anybody
is-
accomplish anything
that
in the
is
70s
That's
or
what-
80s?
That is the first rated R movie I saw and the first pair I ever saw.
Seriously, how did anyone
Titanic?
get
No,
after
no.
that movie
Oh,
came
okay.
out?
How old were you?
Yeah, I was 20. I was a slow developer, Ed. Quit picking on me.
He'd never seen a pair of tits before.
Yeah, it was my
We saw a
first.
pair of white girl titties at the same
That was
time
it.
for the first time. Okay,
Yep.
bringing us together.
Listen, you
Yeah, solidarity.
yeah. I don't know how anybody after that movie came out.
Because
Like, we're lucky that there's even a population
84,
still.
85, something like that.
It came out in 80. It was before. It was 82.
Was it
I
82?
think so.
I was 6. But that I wasn't, that was when it was on HBO later on.
Sure.
You know.
Of course.
So.
Yeah.
That's still.
I don't know
pretty
how. Listen, if that movie would have been around, which it was, but you know what I mean, actively playing, I wouldn't have left my house ever. I don't know what else to say. I was going to say more, but let's not get weird in
that's
here.
all right.
I don't want to get weird in here.
We don't want to get weird in here. Not on this show.
No.
So Ed, how are you?
Living the dream. I'm over here thinking about the white girl titty.
Yeah.
On Titanic.
Yep, you're stuck on Titanic.
You
I
haven't-
paused
Titanic
that movie
breasts.
so many times on VHS.
Seriously,
and
there was
drew
like-
it myself. I
Yeah.
had Leo's drawing like on a pad. I was like, I can do this, bro. I got that.
Yep,
Stay
you still
still.
have it. You know, you can still do it even in your sleep.
I got
you can
it.
Draw
I can
those
still
out.
draw the necklace.
Yep.
If your parents are watching it and they don't pause right there, they just play through it, like the movie skips.
Yeah.
Just how many times you've paused in that one part of the.
No, he never even knew the movie finished. He never saw the ending.
My parents never saw the tape again. It was in my room.
Just paused it, and that's
Yeah, but that is how this movie would have been times 10.
that was definitely one of my earliest favorites.
I stopped at the kneecaps. She didn't have legs. Don't need kneecaps.
Yep.
There was a legless woman, right? Didn't Leo DiCaprio, Jack, didn't he draw a legless woman? There was a
Legless.
story about a woman who didn't have legs in the movie.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
You
The
watched it.
legless
Listen, I
prostitute.
only watched that scene, so I don't know what else
The
you're talking
legless
about.
prostitute.
I've never seen Titanic.
Really?
I've never. It's not my.
It's
my
one of those
not
things-
You
my
don't do
cup of salt
blockbusters. You
water.
haven't done
If you
Black
haven't seen it
Panther
yet.
or Titanic. You don't do blockbusters.
I haven't watched
not
Black
a
Panther.
lot, no.
You haven't watched Black Panther?
Oh, get
What?
ready.
I got 2 kids.
What does that? You got so?
I don't get out much, man. I got 2 kids and a wife. I don't get out.
Yeah. Not everybody lives your bachelor
I'll get
lifestyle.
out. I
How
just
many
saw the
married
new.
men have seen Black? I don't. What's going on in this room?
Only 2.
What's
2
going
married
on?
men
What's
in the
going
world
on?
have seen Black Panther.
Hey,
That's
hey,
it.
people! If y'all are listening, I'm in a room with 2 white middle-aged men who hadn't seen Black Panther and don't plan on it.
Shocking.
If y'all don't see me in a couple of days, help
Well,
your boy.
Pulls out red hat.
Kyle didn't see it because Nick Cage wasn't in it.
Yeah, that's
That
it.
makes sense.
If
That
Nick
does
Cage
make
would have
sense.
been in it, he'd have been there.
That does make sense. Okay.
And I already told you I haven't seen it because I don't pick the movies I watch anymore. I'm a married man.
Can we just say that Nick Cage would have probably made that movie a lot better? But
Stop it.
I mean, I don't-
Relax.
Well, I mean, I'd
relax.
have to see the movie first.
Relax.
But Nick
Relax.
Cage,
I do-
Nick Cage, if he's not like the
Relax.
main actor, he can make a lot of movies.
I
so
want to
much
watch
better.
Black Panther. I really want to watch it. Just
I
And
did.
just-
it'll
you
come
wanna
out.
imagine
I think
Nick
it just
Cage
hit
into
Redbox.
it.
So I think it just hit Redbox. So I'll totally go
I
watch.
did watch Season of the Witch
Sorry,
with Nick Cage, right?
I did Season of the Witch with Dan Seabury, and we came up with a. He hasn't. Unfortunately, he never wound up doing it. We had a segment because when he explained the whole movie in a minute, it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. So I was like, we need to do a segment on each of these where we just have Dan Seabury watch the movie on his own and then just scribe it back to us in a minute. So it was hilarious.
There you go. Have you done the Nick Cage podcast?
I have not done the Nick Cage podcast.
Book with me? You can do it in July.
Get him in there.
Which one are we doing? What movie?
Oh, you don't find out until
you
you're
don't
there.
Find out until you're.
So you
there.
watched the movie.
We watched the movie together.
Okay.
See now the only time he did one where we all watched it separately was when you took over the radio show and did it here.
Yes.
We all went home and watched Con Air.
Okay.
And then
Here.
we came. Well, we didn't like have a huddle and then we'll go home. We watched it before we came onto the air
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
discussed it.
Okay. Like a homework assignment. You came
Right,
back and you
right,
talked
right,
about.
right.
But this, you just come over to my house, we watch it, and we walk down to my basement and record.
Ha,
Yeah,
nope, not doing
I
it.
don't think
You said your
the
house
one I
and
did
basement,
was,
not doing it.
Yeah, Bangkok Dangerous was
Oof.
the last one I did.
Not
on
going
there.
to your basement. Not doing it.
And that
Oh,
was
I got a
fun.
studio
it's
down
so
there.
much fun.
I've seen Get Out. Ain't happening. I
Well,
stay
my-
ready.
My wife is black, so we're good to go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, all
There you
right,
go. We're
cool.
good to
Yeah,
go.
we can do that.
Yep,
We
there
can
you
do that. All right, yeah.
I did that just for you,
Okay,
so I was
okay,
like,
there we go.
there you go. I was like, hey,
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure
It's
Ed
like
Dog's
I'm going to
comfortable.
marry
So
this girl because someday
Cool.
Ed's going
We
to
can
want to be
cool.
with
yeah,
me.
Yeah, we can-
back in
all right,
when we met
all
back in 2012, I was like, I'm going to meet a guy in the future that you're going to make a lot more comfortable
All
being
right,
in my
cool.
house.
We can, yeah, let's do it. July.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It really is. It's a good time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is
I'm sad it's coming to
is
an end.
Tim coming over for when we do this?
He will be.
Because
He will be.
he was a lot. I thought he added a lot to
I
the
love Tim.
conversation and everything.
I love
else.
Tim.
He's a good dude. So yeah, it's a fun time.
Okay.
I am doing one once this is over because there's going to be a lull because more movies are coming out. He does like
Well,
6 a year.
absolutely, yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to be able to do it a couple times a year. But once we get to the end, we have to wait for the next one. So I'm going to be doing another podcast, tentatively titled "Pick a Movie," but I don't.
So it's
work
not
in
necessarily
progress.
Nick Cage,
Work in progress.
just a random.
So the comic that we have come over or guest brings a movie,
Oh, okay.
and then we watch it.
So
So-
they'd bring just
Yeah,
whatever
you would
random
tell me
movie
ahead of time what it is, so that way I can make sure we haven't done it,
Oh,
and then we either have access to it
and
streaming, or you just
make
bring
sure
it with
the
you.
kids aren't there.
What movie would you pick, Don?
If
What'd
you
you bring
yeah,
over?
that's perfect. What movie would you bring?
I don't know. I would have to put some thought into it.
You should do your movie, the one that's on Netflix or on Redbox.
On
Netflix?
Redbox?
You got Netflix?
6 Feet Below Hell.
There you go. Do that one.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that sometime.
I feel like
What would you bring?
Me? What would I bring?
You'll have to wait till Black Mamba's out.
Would it have to be our favorite movie or just like a movie?
Any movie.
Any movie?
Yeah.
I would bring Fruitvale Station.
See, do something that's perfect because I never even heard of it.
Seriously.
I've never even heard of that at all.
What? That's what I would bring.
So that's what this is why I want to do this too, because I want to encourage people to like bring something that you think I would have never seen. You don't have to do that, but try to come up with something.
Seen
Yeah,
6 Feet Below Hell? It's been on Redbox for a year.
for a year. I heard. I heard.
Okay, I'll.
It's on my list.
Well, Nick Cage isn't in it, so.
I-
Yeah, Nick Cage
Although
is not
I
in
will
Fruitvale
say,
Station.
Nick Cage being in that would have made it better. It would have been fantastic. It would.
He is in a movie that's kind of a horror-ish coming out called Mandy.
Horish.
Horish.
You mean
He's
in
in
the
a porn.
horror,
He's doing
horror
porn.
In the
genre,
horror
not
genre.
a horish movie?
He's
Yeah.
doing porn. Nick
In
Cage
the-
doing porn.
Horror genre.
Because that's what I heard.
It's called The Black Mamba.
That's
And it's in the horror genre. It's called Mandy. It's coming out this summer, and right now it premiered at Sundance. It has a 100% from every critic that was there.
Really?
Yes, 100% from every critic that was there.
See, because I could see him do because he plays a great psycho.
Yeah, apparently
I could
he
see
is.
him doing
He's like a
really well in
vengeful.
that.
It's like a Gonzo.
What does Gonzo mean? You've used that term like 4
Just
times.
You ever
like
seen the Muppets?
Stop,
It
Don.
means he's got a big long nose.
Stop,
He's a
Don.
big long nose.
Stop, Don.
Kinda
Kyle, what
purple,
does
yeah.
Gonzo
Gonzo
mean?
is like, well, like Gonzo journalism was where you put yourself into the narrative. So Hunter S. Thompson kind of created this like Gonzo journalism.
Okay.
So a Gonzo movie really is just, it can be like replaced with surreal. So a surreal movie. So
Okay.
something where you're watching it and you, as the viewer, realize that what you're watching isn't real, but that puts you deeper in the narrative. That's what surreal is. That's
Okay.
or at least that's the idea behind surreal.
Okay.
Is that you're like Chuck Palahniuk is one of my favorite authors, and he makes characters that as you're reading them, like you realize that these aren't real people. Like it's not like the little what is the little Pilgrims or Little House on the Prairie, right? Where it's like you
It's
feel
like
like
Inception, like the movie Inception. What you're watching isn't real.
well, and you realize it's not. I mean, that's
Correct.
sort of, but yeah, I mean that's like you realize that what you're watching isn't reality.
Yeah.
Like the director or the writer is intentionally trying to create an atmosphere where it's very obvious that this is fake.
Yeah.
And usually doing so to make it like an allegory or not puns, but one of my metaphors.
Right.
Usually you're creating something that's unreal to make a metaphor.
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Like that's what the Wizard of Oz was.
Okay. Like you ever seen the movie Mother
No.
with Jennifer Lawrence and
Oh, gotta watch
Javier
it.
Bardem?
I do
Oh,
love
it is
I do
terrible.
love Jennifer
It
Lawrence.
is.
Gotta-
It
gotta-
is.
gotta watch
It is terrible. It is absolutely
Like not
It
terrible
is
as in not fun to
ridiculous.
watch.
It is. It is gross. It's just a ridiculous movie.
Give it to me.
And I watched. Actually,
I'll allow
we didn't
it.
even finish it. We got up out of the theater and was like, "I'm done here," because there was nothing in this
Wow,
movie.
I would never-
That was it was the acting was okay, but the story itself, it was the dumbest thing I've ever watched. And I've heard people, "Oh, it's because you didn't understand." It's like, no, I understood the metaphors perfectly. They were stupid.
Yeah.
And it was a waste of time, and I didn't
So
want to
there's
sit
good
there and
surrealistic fiction and
continue
bad.
to watch rape after rape
Oh.
after rape. It really was not.
Coulda stopped
It
at
was
the
a
second one.
very unsettling movie,
Yeah.
Oh.
and not in a way that's like, oh, this makes sense for it to be that
But
way.
where'd you
It's
hit?
just like it was just like grotesque it was gratuitous grotesque.
But where'd you hit your rape limit? Like on the where'd you hit your rape limit?
I'm usually done after one.
Okay.
It's because, well, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Hashtag rape jokes.
Woo!
No, I
Can you do that on the radio?
I asked a rape question.
Right. Okay, well, on that note, it's time for the comedy rundown.
Oh gosh!
Ed, go smoke a cigarette. We got them.
Remember how you did that little rattle about how the views and opinions weren't right states?
Hey.
Also not of the other people in the studio. So
Right,
there you go.
that's why I say that. Just make sure that everybody knows that the views of this show are not necessarily the views of any living person. Not even me, usually. Anyway, here's this week's comedy rundown brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Tonight, June 12th, comedy and music at Cat's Lounge at 1221 East Stroop Road in Kettering. Sign-ups for Stage Timer at 9 o'clock, and that show starts at 10 p.m., featuring Todd the Fox as music. And also tonight, the comedy at the Blue Note Bistro at 23 East Central Avenue in Miamisburg. Also tonight, Super Dope Comedy Show with Dan Seabury at 55 Bell Street in Dayton. That show starts at 8:45. Thursday, June 14th, open mic at the Hookah Bazaar at 958 Patterson Road in Dayton. That show starts at 10 p.m. Sign-ups start at 9:30 if you want some stage time. Thursday through Sunday, the 14th through the 17th, April Macy is going to be at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Friday and Saturday, June 15th and 16th, Tim McLaughlin is at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in the Oregon District. And Sunday, June 17th, Wiley's Sunday Comics is back at Wiley's Comedy Club. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. And don't forget to show some love on Monday nights to the open mics we have at Hannah's at 121 North Ludlow Street in Dayton and Ollie's at 518 Miamisburg Centerville Road in Centerville. And I'm going to go ahead and since Ed loves Potter's Field so much, I'm going to go ahead and play some Choke Hazard for him, and we will be back here shortly on the Life Radio Show.
I've been thinking of killing you. Tell myself coming unglued. Bit my tongue and it bled. Blurry eyes from all the meds. Doctor says I should get on some more, just because my self-image is poor. So now I'm walking to your door, serenade you lying there on the floor. Love you more. Tell the floor. Love you more. You talk a good game, but it's all lies and naked. You talk a good game, your voice is loud, very loud.
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute, wait 1 second. I think I'm onto something here. This is pure snow. It's everywhere. Have you any idea what the street value of this mountain is? Charles, wait a minute, hold it. Ah! Oh! Outrageous! I think I froze the left half of my brain. Look! I can't move my right arm!
All right. What's that? We are back
Good
on
timing.
We're back on the Life Radio Show with your host, Don Smith, co-host for the week, all week, as in today, Kyle Steele from the MMA podcast. What's the name of the MMA?
Loudmouth MMA.
Loudmouth MMA podcast and the Nick Cage Movie Review Hour podcast.
Boom.
Sitting in with Ed John, who is
What up?
Who was very disappointed he didn't get to hear any Potter's Field.
He's also cold.
And he's also cold. Scoot a little closer, Kyle. It's okay.
We done here? We done? Okay.
Don't be scared, Ed.
We done?
Just search your feelings.
Very intense.
We done?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, so should we hit some news stories, or did we have
news?
You don't have to get your credit card out. I mean, this isn't that portion of the show. That's later on.
Okay. That's for the Black Mama.
That's later on when we would do some shots and order some stuff off
Sure.
of Amazon.
Let's do it.
So, all right, we'll hit some news stories. Unless you got anything to say, you got any problems with that, Ed?
Why are you looking
I'm
at me?
You
Why
seem,
I gotta have
you seem
problems?
angry.
Why
I don't
I gotta have
know.
problems, dog?
You seem angry. I don't know. You're cold. I don't know.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, how
you're
do I
cold
seem
and
angry?
upset.
Because I'm cold.
'Cause you're
now
cold?
I'm asking questions, and now it seems like I'm angry.
That was the
The
point.
self-fulfilling
It was all a
prophecy.
setup, man. It was all a setup. The cops do that.
Yeah, that's what
That's
they do.
what they do.
That's what they do.
Yep, I was just trying out a theory.
what they
That's
do.
all I was doing. That's
I
what
was
you
trying
get.
the
That's
theory
what you
out to
get
see if
for
it
throwing
worked.
rape questions at me like that, Ed. It's all that I can handle. I'm going to get up and walk out at any moment.
Oh no.
You said after 6 rapes, you were like
All
done
right.
with it. So
News, right? We're doing news.
We're doing news. We're doing news that's not about rape.
Yeah, if we can. I'm in real estate now, so if we can
my bad.
not derail
Right,
my career,
exactly,
that'd be great.
Exactly. The remains of a man trying to escape a volcanic eruption in Mount Vesuvius nearly 2,000 years ago were found in Pompeii, Italy this week, and the photographs have become a meme. Why would people do this? Because the internet is a bad place. Archaeologists believe the man was fleeing to safety, having managed to escape the first volcanic eruption, but was subsequently crushed by a large stone in the process. They believe the stone was a door jamb, according to USA Today. Additionally, archaeologists believe the man was around 35 years old and suffering from a bone infection. His head has not yet been found. So yeah, he's not having a good day.
why is that news?
See, I was talking about,
Why is that news?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because-
They just found it.
But if
It's
they
news
dig a little
because-
deeper, they're going to find like a couple hundred more, right?
Well, no, because I mean that's the thing with Pompeii is everything's exposed.
Yeah, it was right there.
Yeah, everything's been really exposed, so it is odd that they.
So
would
that's
find
why
your
they
stuff.
know the story that this man was crushed by a stone after he
How
managed
did they
to
know he had a
escape.
bone infection?
I
want to talk
I
about
don't,
that.
I don't know. I mean,
I want to talk about that.
I would say, first of all,
That sounds like
they
some-
haven't found the head, so he's probably got a little more to worry about
More than a bone infection.
infection. He probably wasn't going, oh, my bones,
Yeah.
until the big stone fell on him and crushed his head into oblivion to where they haven't been able to find it for 2,000 years.
Yes.
That's a bad day.
That's a good rundown.
See, I was talking about I had a bad day today, but nothing like this guy.
No.
Why did you have a bad day, Don?
Oh, it's just one of those things. Doing maintenance every now and then, you just have one of those days where everything you need just happens to be a special order part. And then, of course, I was down in Mason.
Okay.
You ever been to Mason?
I have.
Oh shit! But here we go.
Yeah. Do you know
Am
anybody?
I getting them riled up? Should I stop it?
Do you know anybody from Mason?
I I can't say that I do.
Good, because I hate everyone from
Okay,
Mason.
if I did, they're
and if
all
you
trash.
if you had friends from Mason, I would probably hold that against
You know what?
In
In fact,
way.
I hate anyone named Mason.
Oh, that's definite.
Mason,
That was
Skyler,
even, that was
Trevor.
even
I don't like any of
before
them.
I went to Mason, anybody named Mason, I was like,
Absolutely.
yep, probably a douchebag.
Yep.
But now, I don't know if you've ever been down through there on like Tylersville Road.
I absolutely.
It is a terrible.
I've been to that
place.
B-dubs.
It is a terrible place down there.
Exit 22 off 605.
Because there was like the facility I was working at. This is the first time I was down there a few weeks ago. The facility I was working at, I had to get a part at the Home Depot, which is right over by 75.
Got it.
It's like 3.8 miles. And in 3.8 miles, I was stuck behind three separate traffic accidents.
Mm.
It wasn't 3 cars in one accident. It was 3 separate idiots that wrecked in the same stretch of 3.8 miles.
Well, that
took
area
me
is just-
almost an hour.
That area is expanding like hardcore.
It is, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there but people. That's what I was saying to Ed earlier. There's nothing to do down there except go to Kings Island, stick your finger in your butt, and whistle.
Yep.
That's the 3 things you can do in Mason. And they think
And
about
3
the
of those
first
you can
one.
do at the same time. So.
Right. They think about the first one while they're doing the other 2 while they're driving.
Yeah.
And it's hard to drive with your finger in your butt while you're whistling. I've tried it because I figured when in Rome or when in Mason. So
I like how that was a long setup for that, and I like it.
He doesn't like Don. Doesn't like Mason.
I don't. And if anybody right now from Mason is listening to the show,
I hate you.
Stop, because I don't like you, and I don't even want you listening to my show.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't get it because you're from Mason.
Thug life. Hashtag thug life.
Going hard on Mason.
Don't wear red when I see you. Don't have on red. That's all Don is saying. If you live in Mason, don't wear red around him.
Oh, that was my Mason rant, because that's the day I was having. I had to go to a electrical supply house down there, and they said, well, we're going to have to order this part. I said, well, I'll go to the one in Dayton, and they can order it. Well, why is that? I said, because if I drive down here again, I'm going to become a serial killer.
I'm going to become really unhappy.
That I don't want to frequent your establishment, honestly. Anyway, back to news, because I don't want to talk about Mason anymore. It's getting me upset.
You seem like it.
Thanks, Ed.
You're already there.
Kyle asked you about Mason. I gave him a warning not to go down that path.
To be fair, everybody I
sorry.
meet, I just asked them about Mason. So
Well,
I didn't know that this
is a
time it was
standard-
going to be.
That is a standard question.
Of
If I
course,
had a
the
nickel
one
for
time-
every guest came on my show and asked about Mason, I'd have a nickel.
I got you on a wrong day.
Yep. Yeah, on most days I'm real quiet.
Sure.
Yeah, you hardly even know I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
On Monday, see a lot of back to another volcanic eruption. After mine, we did a news story about it. I had a volcanic eruption all over Mason, and now we're on Monday. The U.S. Geological Survey's Twitter account took a break from posting updates about Hawaii's volcanic eruption to respond to a silly question about snacks. Is it safe to roast marshmallows over volcanic vents? Asked Twitter user Jay Furr. Yeah, why not? Who was presumably joking, I hope, because that's pretty stupid. Assuming you had a long stick, that is, or would the resulting marshmallows be poisonous? And the U.S. Geological Survey replied, we're going to have to say, no, that's not safe. Please don't try. Not only does the idea of cooking over scorched molten rocks seem extremely unsafe, the U.S. Geological Survey said that marshmallows wouldn't even taste good if the vents were emitting hydrogen sulfide or sulfur dioxide. The agency also noted that if you add sulfuric acid to sugar, you get a pretty spectacular reaction. So you don't want to do that.
They didn't answer the question, though. They said, could you do
well,
it?
He said, is it
would
safe?
it be poisonous?
Yeah, it says, would it be safe?
I don't believe that question
No,
was answered,
it was
and I'm still
not.
wondering.
It absolutely was not.
Well, I guess we still have to try it now.
Well, they did start off with, we're going to have to say, no, that's not safe. Please don't try.
But they're saying it's not safe.
They're saying it's
to
not
try
safe,
it.
as in like the
You can
marshmallow would expand, is what it would do because it showed a video of the whole the sulfuric acid and sugar, and it was a pretty.
This was in Hawaii.
Well, nobody actually cooked the marshmallows. Somebody was
But
just
this was in
asking
Hawaii?
questions. Yeah, there's an eruption. You're gonna make me say the name.
Don't
no,
say
no,
the
no.
name.
Kilauea.
Don't you say the name.
Kilauea.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Close
sure
enough.
that's
close
wrong.
enough. Yeah, I'm definitely sure that's wrong.
They could have just answered that question like, Donald Trump's your president. You got other things to worry about. Eat the marshmallow. Do it.
Well, actually,
we don't know how
I
long
think,
we have
that-
anyways.
That Twitter user was Trump.
There you go.
To be
Yeah.
fair.
There you go.
To be fair.
Either Trump or
Yep.
somebody from Mason.
Because that way he can get there and get that nice orange glow about him while he's roasting marshmallows.
Have you heard about my Donald Trump parody account?
No, I have not.
I do have a pretty good
On
one.
Twitter, you have a Trump parody account.
I do.
On Twitter.
And I just so here's what I did.
What's
I was,
what's the Twitter handle?
It is it's the real Donald J. Trump, I believe, but you replace all of the R's with E's. So then all I do is just take, because R and E are next to each other on the keyboard. So I was trying to write out Donald Trump, and I put Donald Tump,
Tiump.
T-E-U-M-P. So I was like, oh, that,
Tiump.
I was like, that would be a funny.
Swedish now.
I was like, that would be a funny Twitter handle. So all I do is every time he tweets, I just take his tweet and remove all the R's and replace them with E's. It's literally all that it is. But I keep getting tagged by people because it's so close to his actual Twitter, because it's the real whatever. That's his Twitter name.
So yours is
All
at,
you do,
at
if
the
you
real
just
Donald
replace,
Tiump.
if right as you say, it would be Eel, because it'd be E-E.
Oh, so the
Yeah.
the
There's
eel
no
Donald
no
Tiump.
R's. So
That's all. That's your Twitter
yeah, so
Twitter
as
handle.
soon as you type it in, and then when you go to type in real, if you type in E instead of R, mine's going to pop up. So I was tagged by James Woods. I was tagged by Fox.
All right. Well, there
Keep
you
getting
go.
random follows. It's growing.
The eel Donald Tiump.
Yeah.
All right.
All I do is I just
have to
take
check.
his-
and you just take
And
his
people, so I'll
ridiculous
repost it.
tweets and-
I'll take his tweet. I'll repost it. Just replace the R's with E's, and people will comment on it. God bless you, Mr. President. Just they don't even.
They don't. Yeah, they don't even know how to read.
I don't
Most
know.
of them.
I don't know if it's that they know how to. They don't know how to read. I think it's that they don't care if their president spells stuff with E's instead of R's. I literally think that they see that that's what's happening and just go, yeah,
Yeah, it's
we're good.
It's the Donald. We're all right.
We're good here. Yeah, no
You're
issues.
being awfully quiet, Ed.
I'm just listening, man. Taking it in. I'm taking in the Twitter account info. Just taking it in.
Yeah. Are you going to look it up?
My president's Mr. Barack Obama.
Sure,
So I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, but he's done now.
he is.
He's not.
He,
And don't
he
speak
can't,
like
he
that
can't
around
come
me.
back.
He has his
or
own
he can't
Netflix
come
show now.
back as a president.
Have you heard about
What's
his
that?
Netflix show?
Who?
It's going to be coming out. Barack Obama.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Him and the acting first lady are getting some stuff done from their new residence.
Not Melania Trump, if you're if you were
Right, I
wondering.
was gonna-
Although
No,
Would
my
love to see
first
that one.
president.
Yeah.
My first lady.
I'm sure she would be happier.
I would love to see a Barack Obama, Melania Trump.
Well, no, I was talking
First of
about, I
all,
was talking about
she
the
would
real
absolutely
first
be
lady.
happier.
I was talking about the real first lady.
Sure.
So, because there's no term limit on being the first lady, just president.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
You got to think outside that box.
well, yeah. In order
I
to
can't
do
tell
that,
you
though,
that you're
she'd
wrong.
have to marry the current president, and I don't think she would. Yeah, that would be.
Nah, that wouldn't happen.
She wouldn't lower herself.
Nah, that wouldn't happen.
Shit, she's a goddess. She would never do that to herself.
But in theory, couldn't
No
we just
money.
amend the Constitution, though? We could amend it, all right, and say 22 doesn't count anymore. We could do that. That's a possibility in America.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
It's a living, breathing document.
It is a possibility.
it's
Absolutely.
it'd be a bad idea in our
That's- yeah.
current situation, because
It'd be a great idea in our current situation.
to have no term
No.
limits for Donald Trump,
No.
that man would get elected into infamy. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get elected again.
Oh, he absolutely will.
You think he's going to get elected again?
Yeah.
He
America's
He is tapping
Yeah,
in,
yes.
dude.
If they
Absolutely,
elect Donald Trump
absolutely.
again.
He is tapping into a. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Like
just,
it is.
Just look inside for your hate.
It's incredible to watch. I mean, it's just he is tapping in to this fear and anger, and it's because he has.
If the 22nd Amendment was abolished, right, and Barack Obama ran against Donald Trump,
I don't know.
you're telling me Donald Trump would beat Barack Obama?
I don't know.
I mean, that would be. Yeah, I mean that would be close, but probably.
They are two completely different ends of the spectrum.
There
There
always-
is not a Trump supporter out there that would ever switch and go, nope, I'm going to go with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Even people who
Now, the only thing Barack Obama could do that Hillary couldn't is she could motivate a lot more Democrats. He could motivate a lot more Democrats.
But the
and a lot
Democratic
more
Party-
young people to get out and vote.
But the pulse of America isn't Democrats are losing Democrats. It's Republicans. The Republican Party is losing Republicans support.
I mean, I don't know, because that's how I've always viewed it. I've been a lifelong liberal, so I've always viewed it as the Republican Party is hemorrhaging and the Democratic Party is going up. I don't think that that's true anymore, because the left has completely eaten itself. I mean, you go to the far left,
they've
far
eaten
left,
themselves because they screwed over the good candidate they had.
Oh, yeah.
To put one up that they just thought, well, it's her turn, and even
That's all-
even,
listen, I
even
don't think Bernie Sanders
I-
would got elected
That's
either.
always the
But
case. That's how
I
Clinton
don't
got
know.
elected.
I
he
don't
certainly
know.
had a much
That's
better
how Clinton
chance.
got elected with Ross Perot. That's always the case.
Yeah.
Democrats always do that.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
It was her. Yeah, it was her
They always do that.
chance. So it was her. It was her time, basically.
Yeah, but this time they divided and conquered themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
See,
they won that time.
Yeah, they didn't.
This
Yeah.
time they did not. Yeah,
See, with Ross Perot, he ran as an independent,
Yep.
but he was taking Republican votes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See,
Same thing.
this, if Donald Trump had won as an independent or had run as an independent, he wouldn't be president, and neither would a Republican.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because he would have eaten into the base.
Right.
And then we'd be with Hillary.
Yeah,
Well, that's
don't
why
know.
Republicans were petrified that he was going to, if he didn't get the nomination, that he was going to go independent.
Yeah,
Which,
if they
that
would
would've
have
happened, they were
if they would have Bernie
screwed.
Sanders him.
Yeah,
But here's the thing.
unlike Bernie Sanders remained allegiant,
Right.
which was crazy. When you found out that you're getting screwed by the DNC, why did you not go independent?
But not to rehash an election that's already happened.
Sure.
But if going back to the initial assumption, if the 22nd Amendment was abolished, and you go back to what erased
And Obama could run again. is what-
Yeah, I don't think America would elect Donald Trump again. That can't happen
I still think
in a
it
free
absolutely
thinking
I don't know.
country. That
will. I think
can't happen.
more
Well,
people.
you're talking about people that you know being free thinking when the people that you don't know are the ones that voted for him in the first place. Those
Yeah,
aren't.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
those
I
aren't
barely
typically the
know.
free
I
thinking.
barely know anybody that voted for Donald Trump.
I
barely know
cannot
anybody.
say the same. Sadly.
Right.
I mean, but it's like I don't care whoever did. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
There's not that big of a. He's not this thing that people are trying to make him out to be.
Right.
He,
right.
he's a.
No, people are trying to make him out to be an idiot, and he's an idiot.
No, he's an incredibly intelligent man. I mean, that's why he's in this position. I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah,
the thing.
you-
And
That's a
gotta
stupid
figure-
country.
he also has
it's a
no.
stupid country.
he has
His
no
intellect-
That's
pride.
why
It's a
he's
stupid
doing that.
country.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
that's
his-
why he's
it's
acting the way he
WWE.
is, because he knows that there
Linda
there are
McMahon,
enough stupid people that they're going to.
They're stupid people.
Vince McMahon's wife,
Yeah.
is his Department of Small Business chairman. Vince McMahon's wife.
What's
of
that
the
mean?
WWE.
What's that mean?
WWE.
No, I'm saying
Wrestling?
what does that statement that you made mean?
This is all. It's all a show. This is all WWE.
Oh yeah,
He's
Well,
incredibly.
politics is a
He's
show. Yeah,
incredibly
politics
smart.
is a
No,
show.
but this isn't just politics. This is a whole different animal. What he's doing right now, he is slaying people, man. And it's he's tricking anyone who thinks he's an idiot. Is why he's president, because he's tricking you too. He's tricking these people over here by
No.
thinking he's real.
What?
And he's tricking you by thinking it's fake, because he's somewhere in the middle. And it's incredible. What he's doing is that's why I think he will get elected again. And I think if you say like abolish term limits, I think until he just died, he could keep going, and then you're going to have somebody else come along who I think
So
is going to be
everybody's
even
stupid.
angry.
So everybody's stupid except Donald Trump.
I think a lot of really, really, really intelligent people don't vote.
Correct.
I think some of the most intelligent people I know don't vote. So,
Correct.
And some of the stupidest people in the country do. So at the end of the day, all that matters is who the voting base is. And someone
No,
like Trump
no,
who can tap into anger.
No, because if that was the case, if that was the case, then Hillary Clinton would be president because she won the majority vote. Now the votes that matter are in the extremely stupid counties, right?
Well, it's more just
When
that.
we're gerrymandering, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what that is.
the problem is like we talk about getting rid of the Electoral College. The main reason why you can't do it is because you can't have this incredibly populous county in LA decide elections.
Right.
Because if you do that, then these people are getting, like you advertise, politicize. I don't know how, like You try to reach voters.
But
whatever
what's the
that's referred
difference
to
from
as.
having a very populous county deciding the election from having a very narrow-minded county?
Well, because it's
win the
not
election?
county, it's counties.
Well, you
so,
can have populous counties.
so you'd have the entire middle of the country still has a voice. If you take most places in the Midwest, right? Take like the top.
But what does the voice matter?
But you're also saying narrow-minded counties
Yeah.
because that's just the way you view them.
Yeah, it's totally an opinion.
Which very well could be true.
Because that's the thing. If everybody was all of one opinion, we wouldn't have any elections at all.
Yeah, but when when gerrymandering happens, and
well, but
it'll
gerrymandering
keep
doesn't
happening.
affect the presidential vote.
it
That doesn't
affects the
affect that.
electoral college.
No.
Yeah, it does.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Slightly.
it does.
Yeah, but it's more. I mean, not as much as certainly like when you have like Congress is dramatically affected by it. Like the 10th district used to be Democrat.
Yeah, but those Congress.
Then they changed it, and now it's going to be Republican forever because it's Greene County.
Yeah, and they all come from the same counties, the same gerrymandered counties. All those congressmen, same thing.
We were just walking by.
It goes in a circle.
There's a pool
It
party
goes
walking
in a
by
circle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not
intelligent.
well, I'm not even intelligent
Too
enough to
late.
really
Too
talk about it. But it's just like I think Donald Trump is not stupid, and I think that's one of the biggest things that are going to come back and bite people. Like you have to outsmart him because what he's doing right now, it clearly worked. He was not supposed to win that election. Nobody had him winning that election that was worth their grain of salt. Nobody. Anybody who came out and said that he was going to win, they were laughed at. But he had tapped into this anger and rage that was going across this country and has been for a very long time in a way that was, if this continues, that's what scares me, is that in order to go up against that, you're going to have to match it on the left side. This is why we have identity politics. You have to, identity politics makes the left and makes Democrats so incredibly angered to believe that they are being held down for whatever reason, that the world is against them. That's why identity politics are coming up. It's literally just anger and rage.
But calling Donald Trump stupid is not that's not coming from a voice of being held down or from the standpoints of a victim. I'm saying this man's stupid because I can identify to stupidity.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying what you're seeing from the left, why the left is devouring itself, is because they are obsessing over identity politics, and the reason why they're obsessing over it is because it makes them angry. Right? It gets them all riled up. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that you would use that word around me or around somebody else. It's these pronouns. It's this. They get enraged by it.
I don't think so.
Oh,
because you
watch
to be angry.
these stuff at Berkeley where these people are walking out because there's biology scientists talking about this and that. Again, I'm not making a stance on it, but what I'm saying is the left is enraged through identity politics. It's the same thing that Donald Trump was doing or is doing with immigrants, right? It's the same concept. You're getting your base super, super angry so they vote for you. So with identity politics or victim shaming,
so you're
whatever
saying
it is,
Donald Trump's base is angry,
Absolutely.
not the left.
Oh, yeah.
the left
because
is,
earlier you said the left was angry.
The left is as angry, if not more.
Okay.
Because now Donald Trump's in office, right? So now you have this thing that you can point at and be even more. He's the reason why my community is held down.
You have a direction for your
He's the
anger.
reason why transgender people are looked down upon. He's the reason why a homosexual man was beaten in the streets yesterday, whatever it is. So now we have this thing that we can, whether that's true, of course that's not true.
Right.
But they need that. And in order for people to get out and vote, they have to be angry. They got to be angry. And now Donald Trump showed you the blueprint. This is what you got to do. You want to get elected president?
But Barack Obama was elected
Get
on
angry.
people being hopeful.
I know.
Not
it's
angry.
flipped. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It
Now
has
it's okay.
flipped.
Okay. I see. Okay.
That's what scares me.
Okay.
Because in order for someone to beat Donald Trump, they have to be a Democrat who I would never vote for. Because I would never vote for the Donald Trump version of a Democrat.
Yeah.
I would never do that. Right? So so what happens? When do we flip back? Because right now, the left, again, is devouring itself because they are so angry and so fixated on this one tiny little piece of politics. And I mean, how do you stop this? Because I don't want to not be liberal. I love the idea of being liberal. I really would like to continue this. But the way that the party is going, I can't possibly vote for someone who, like I said, is just the Democratic version
So
of
they've won.
Donald Trump.
So they've won. They've truly. If most liberals think the way you do, then they won.
I don't know if they do. I don't know. I don't know where anybody is. I know where I'm at with it. And I am sure as hell not going to vote for Donald Trump come 2020. but I don't know. What do you do if you have just the opposite of him? Not the opposite, but you just have him,
Right.
but flipped. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
What do you do, Don?
What do you do, Don? Tell me what to do.
We go on to the next news story. We got time for one more news story before the break, but it better be a quick one. A South Carolina woman isn't happy a grocery store censored her honor graduate son's cake, which was supposed to include the Latin phrase summa cum laude. Kara Kaczynski,
I know where this is going.
told the Washington Post ordered a cake online from Publix that was supposed to say, "Congratulations, Jacob, summa cum laude class of 2018. She says the online message box did not like the word cum, C-U-M, the Latin word for with. The computer marked it as a naughty word and substituted 3 hyphens. Somebody else went up, because that's all I put of the story on there. Somebody else went to pick the cake up for her and didn't bother to look at it, and it was summa ... laude. So
Here with the
yeah,
ellipses.
that's, at a Publix, and I was actually at a Publix once in Florida where the L was burned out on their sign, so a Publix wouldn't put.
With the Morse code.
Yeah, it
Beep,
was
beep, beep.
Morse
With the 3
code.
dashes. Beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep.
I just wonder what the dots were. If it was white icing. No, it's on there.
Hey-o.
All right. On that note, we're going since there's nothing left to do but take a break, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back. Ed, are you going to stick around with us?
I will stick around.
Okay. Well, we'll be back with Ed and Kyle.
What up?
And Butch Russell, I believe, is coming in if he can find a joint, and not if he can find a joint, but if he can find a place. And we may be hearing from Tabari, so we'll be back here shortly on the Life Radio Show.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM with a repeat broadcast on Wednesdays from noon to 2, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email the life1069@gmail.com.
I can still say taint.